Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for a different video. This is actually a subscription box that I've never tried before in my life, but this is a get ready with me testing out this subscription box. So this is Deck of Scarlet, which is a US based subscription box, and it ships to the USA, Canada and the UK. So Australian friends, New Zealand friends, German friends, everyone else, sorry, I can't even get it. But I think they reached out to me this time around because each time they release a box, which is every 2 months, they kind of do it with a beauty influencer. And this month was actually with Nikkia Joy, who is Melbourne based. I know her personally, and I was happy to try out the box or the palette that she created. So that's what this is about. All right, so I'm going to open this up. I have opened it before. I had a look and I was curious. But it's a black box and you get like, I got a little card saying, "Hi Kat, enjoy your new January-February palette. Can't wait to see your hashtag Scarlet looks." So that's a little thing. So you get like just a little card, little information. So yeah, just talking about the box. It's got some nice padding in there. And then when you open it up, oh my God, it's my girl Nikkia Joy. So yeah, Nikkia sort of curated this palette. So what this box is, it's very different to other subscription boxes where they just throw in a bunch of like samples. They actually make a palette. And then you also get an additional product in here as well. And I think this month is a liner. So I'll open this in a second and show you the colors and the products that Nikkia curated for this. All right, so before we delve into the actual palette and start putting it on my face, I thought I'll just tell you how this box works. So you can subscribe to this service and you get shipped out a box every second month for $29.95, that's US dollars. In the US, shipping's free. In the UK and Canada, you do have to pay for shipping. But they also gave me a link to this month's sort of discount code. So if you use the code GRAY and use the link in the description box, not affiliated, it's just like the discount. I think you get free shipping with it as well. I'll put more details in the description box. So you can pay $29.95 and get this shipped to you every second month. You can skip a box if you weren't interested. You can cancel at any time. Otherwise, if you missed a box that you really liked the look of and you didn't want to subscribe, you can go back and buy them individually, but they are more expensive. I think they're about $44.95. So you do get like a good $15 discount getting the subscription if you're interested in that. So if you were interested in checking it out, I'll leave a link down below. I'll also leave the link and the code for the 10% off and the free shipping. Like I said, not affiliated, not making any money from this. I'm just interested in the subscription box. So let's open it up, shall we? All right, to start off, we do get a liner, which I'll go into. It's a liquid liner and it's a dark brown. So this is cruelty-free, made in Japan, which I kind of like because I love Japanese makeup. And this is sort of like a dark gray brown. So it's not a black. It's a nice sort of smooth brush tip, as you can probably see. I'll show it close up when I use it, but that's interesting. I like that. I like the color too. It's a little bit different. All right, so this is described as a slate gray liquid liner. I think it's a gorgeous color. It's very different to anything I've got in my collection. It's like a dark browny gray, which is really beautiful. So let's have a look what's inside this. So this is the actual palette and it comes in a sleeve. So you can see that you pull it out. And it comes in a sleeve. And what I do like about this, so if you had them all, you can kind of like line them up almost like books, and it says Deck of Scarlet edition number 06. So you can kind of, they fit like, they're nice for travel. This would actually be good for travel. If you wanted to, like if you had one that you really liked the look of and you just wanted a all-in-one palette for traveling, this is really thin and really, really handy. They've got two sort of lids here, which you probably can't see, I don't know, but you open one and it's got a mirror and it's also got the powder products in there. And then you open the other one and it's got the lip products in there. So you can see it like that. So it does have a slip in there so it doesn't get dirty. We've got the slip, take it off. But this is what the palette looks like without the slip. So you've got the two lip products here. You've got all the powder products there. You could use the powder products without exposing the lip products so that they don't get powder in the lip product, and or you can just use the lip products on its own. So that's kind of handy. I do like the mirror. I think it's a nice size mirror for travel. You can definitely do your makeup in it, which is good. What I also quite liked about the website is that they give you a lot of information. So when they collab with someone, that person sort of does like tutorials. There's also like photos with models for like inspiration or ideas on how to use the products. And they also talk about like each shade individually, like describe it, so you really know what you're getting yourself into. So for this palette, it's very sort of space themed. We've got the 3 eyeshadows. There's one in Aurora, which is a soft shimmery eyeshadow with in a pale gold shade. There's Space, which is a deep, intense, full coverage opaque grey with a velvety matte finish. There's Gravity, which is a charcoal grey with silver shimmer. And then there's also the cheek products. So there's Stardust, which is they say a gorgeous shimmer highlighter, provides flattering, luminous appearance on the skin. Stella, which is a warm burgundy with a matte finish. I think that's like a blush or sort of like a contour type product. And then the lip products, there's Astro, which is a medium taupe with a hint of grey in a thin, lightweight texture, and Venus, which is an opaque, rich, plummish raspberry shade, full coverage, creamy, moisturizing formula. And then there's also the eyeliner in Galaxy, which is a sleek slate grey liquid liner pen. So I'm keen to try them. Okay, let's jump into it. On sort of first impressions, this is a very cool toned palette. So if you like sort of these sort of cool plummy blushes, if you like grey eyeshadows, this is a really nice cool nude lip, which I'm sort of interested in. I might try both lips. I might change it up. If you like a really sort of cool toned face look, then this is a palette that you'd probably really like. You can also see that if you really love the shades and you're happy to use just these shades, it's really good for travel because you get like blush, sometimes it's a bronzer in there, highlighter, you get lip products, and you also get eyeshadow products. So there you go. All right, let's get down to business. I just put some primer on my eyes, just a MAC paint pot in Utterly Becoming. All right, here are the shades, and I'm going to try to just use these and maybe mix in some of these shades as well if I need to. But the kind of thing that I'm thinking of doing is putting Space in the crease and all over the lid, put Aurora on the inner corner and maybe in the middle of the lid as well, and then Gravity in the outer corner. See how we go, but those are the colors that I'm using. And that's the 3 colors there. Let's swatch them. So that is that soft gold champagne sort of color. That's that beautiful gray. That's actually a really soft, nice matte. It looks really gray, but if you blend it out, it actually has some warmth to it, which I really like the look of. And then that sort of slate silvery gray. Quite nice colors. Not really stuff that I usually go for, so this is going to be interesting, but we'll give it a go. While we're here, I might just swatch these guys. So this sort of blush and this highlighter. These are actually quite unique shades. You can see that they are quite cool toned, but they're interesting. I don't really have colors like this too much in my collection. All right, highlighter, which is, oh, it's really pretty. It kind of looks silvery, but at the same time, it's got sort of a beige base, which I really like. And that's the blush, which would make a really nice eyeshadow, but it also blends quite nicely. So let's hope that I don't go overboard with that. All right, I've just got Space, which is that matte gray, just on a fluffy brush. I've started with a small amount in case it's too pigmented, but that's actually nice. I also didn't set my primer, so let's see how this applies straight onto primer. So that's just a soft amount of that middle shade, that grey, just in the crease, and it definitely enhances the crease. You can see it does a good job, and that was just a small amount. I just wanted to take it quite slow. I might actually take that same shade just on the inner corner to almost make a halo effect. So deep, light, deep, but I'm going to go matte in here, which is a bit unconventional. That light Aurora yellow shade, and then Gravity, that shimmery dark shade there. This matte's actually really nice. It's not super pigmented, but I kind of like that from these sort of shades because it's better to build it up and take it slow than to just put too much on and then struggle with blending it. So I think for a gray, that's a really beautiful gray, and I can imagine reaching for this shade when I'm doing like a smoky eye in winter because it kind of really complements brown eyes. All right, now with that Gravity shades, that sort of grey blue with that shimmer, just putting it on the outer corner, just dotting it really, really lightly to start off with. Once again, I'm not too sure how these perform, so I don't want to apply too much. This seems to perform quite well. And I'm going back with that initial blending brush with a tiny bit of space, which was that matte shade, just to blend it out before I put the lighter shade on. And then I've got some of that Aurora shade just on my finger, and I'm just going to tap it where I haven't put any product and sort of just blend it by try to concentrate the yellow color on the part that was sort of naked, and then just tap it out to make it blend a little bit more with the other shades. It's sort of pretty and soft. I might actually wet a brush and try to apply that a little bit more intense. All right, this is just sort of foiling it a little bit with a wet brush, which you can get a much more intense look. I'm just going to pat that out with my finger, so once again it sort of blends in a little bit more. And I'm going to mimic the same thing just on the lower lash line, so just a little bit more of that wet. So I'm just putting that matte grey on the inner corner to mimic the top part. Goes against what a lot of people say, but I don't know, we're breaking the rules here. And just that shimmery blue grey on the outer corner. With a denser brush, it applies a lot more pigmented, so you can really pack that on if you need to. And then I'm just going in over the top with some of that Aurora yellow, just dry, so I can make that sort of blend in a little bit nicer on the lower lash line. I'm now going to test out this liner, which is in the shade Galaxy, a dark grey colour with a nice fine felt, no, not felt tip, it's like a brush applicator. So this is not felt tip, it's actual brush, which is cool. All right, so let's just do a winged liner. All right, so I've applied the liner, and it's a nice liner. I love using a brand new liquid liner. It's just a joy. But I really like the color of this. It is sort of like a soft black. So it goes well with the colors in the palette, and it also is dark enough to define the eyes without it looking a bit funny. Often I find colored liners or lighter liners don't define the eye enough for me. This definitely does it, but it's a nice, just slight twist on a black. It looks a little bit gray blue, and I really like it. I think it looks nice with the shades that were chosen. It applies really easily and smoothly, and it's not patchy. I do think it's a slightly shiny liner, like it doesn't go completely matte, and it also doesn't go on the waterline. I tried it on the waterline and it just sort of dissolved, so not for the waterline. And I really like the applicator because it's a beautiful brush and it's very, very fine, so you can get really, really fine details if you wanted to, just with the very tip. So, or you can get a bit thicker, but it's just a nice applicator. All right, this box doesn't come with mascara, so I'm just putting on a Givenchy mascara. This is the Noir Couture Volume Mascara, so that's what we're doing. All right, so that's the look with the mascara on. It's, I don't know, I think this is an interesting look. It's surprisingly wearable, even though I put matte grey on the inner corners, which is probably not what a lot of people would do. I think the look is quite nice. So I've got base products on, I've got foundation, concealer, powder, but I don't have any highlighter or bronzer or blush. So let's go into that Stellar blush, which looks interesting. tapping off excess because I'm not sure how much product's going to go on. Oh, that's actually a pretty color. Can you see that? It's a matte blush. It's a beautiful cool tone blush. Like, this is definitely a palette that's designed more for winter. So if you like a sort of plummy blush for winter, this is a really nice one. I think it's pretty. Look at it. Blush, no blush, blush, no blush. All right, that blended quite well. I was a little bit scared of the color because it is quite a dark color, but it does apply nice and softly, especially if you tap off your brush. All right, so highlighter just with a fluffy brush. I've tapped some off because I don't know how it's gonna look, so we'll just start with less to begin with. I can't really see too much, so let's put a little bit more on. And that's a kind of pretty soft, I don't know what it's called. It's not too metallic, which I like. I don't like really metallic highlighters. I like highlighters that give a bit of a glow without it looking like it's too cakey and emphasizing skin texture. This one doesn't really emphasize skin texture too much. It's a much more softer, slightly, I want to say powdery, but it's not in a bad way. It just blends quite nicely. It is almost a grey silver, but it's almost got a beige color to it as well. So it's not really frosty and really icy. It kind of looks really nice in the face because it's got a beige element to it, but it does have almost a silver cool toned sheen, which works with the look and is quite unique as well. So it's interesting. So it's definitely not a super extreme highlighter, but I think you can definitely get a nice highlighted look. And it's a little bit more unique being that sort of beigey silver color, which I think is really interesting. It's like a gray highlighter, but a nice gray highlighter. I don't know, I'm confused, but I don't hate it. All right, so I want to put both lip products on because I want to try them. I'm going to start with the sort of glossy one, which is the bright color. It's like a berry, kind of magenta berry gloss. Ooh. Okay, that's a lot more pigmented than I expected it to be. All right, so that's the shade Venus, which is a lot more pigmented and less glossy than I thought. In the pan, it's very sort of easy to pick up, and it looks kind of glossy, like it's a tinted gloss. On the lips, it definitely looks like more like a lipstick, so that's the color there. All right, we're now going to go in with Astro, which is that kind of cool toned brownie nude. It's really pretty. This is definitely more of a matte, firmer formula, so when I go to grab it, put my brush in the pan, it takes a lot more to pick up the product, whereas the other one, it was quite glossy, felt like a gloss, so it's easy to pick up. This is more stable in the pan. It's a really pretty color. Okay, this one's really easy just to apply with your fingers if you want to do that. And the warmth of your finger picks up the product really nicely. Then you can use a lip brush to just kind of line it a little bit. All right, that one I love the color of. If you like cool tone lips, this is a really nice one because cool tone lips can be very unflattering on a lot of people, but I think this almost has like a purpley mauveness to it that kind of makes it, I don't know, not look weird. It kind of looks cool. It works with the look. I liked the berry color as well. I do like the consistency of this better. So if you can see in the pan, to pick up that one, it was almost like picking up a lip gloss. It is very hot today though, just be aware. I'm in summer, it's like 30 something degrees Celsius, it's quite warm. And that one was just a bit firmer and easier to, not easy to pick up, this was very easy to pick up, but it was less messy. So I like this. It's not super opaque. It's not super matte. I thought it was going to be more matte. It does have a sheen to it. And I think with the eyes, it can look really cool, or it can look a little bit overkill. I feel like I'm very, very cool toned at the moment. So I'd probably wear this eye look with more of a peachy nude, and I'd probably wear this lip look with more of a warmer eye, like a bronzy eye. I just kind of like to mix it up rather than keep it all same. All right, so what do I think of this all up? I think it's a really interesting concept and it's a nice sort of twist on a subscription box. Subscription boxes probably hit their peak a few years ago where they'd throw in samples and products. This is sort of like a more interesting take on it. So they create a palette every 2 months and it's sort of themed around probably the weather and also the person that's like curating it. This month, I think, or this Jan-Feb kind of palette, I think is really interesting. The colors are sort of probably not everyone's cup of tea, and you probably look at it and go, oh, it's very, very cool toned and not really what I'm used to, but they apply really nicely. I had no complaints about getting them on my face. They applied quite nicely, and I was surprised that these two are really actually beautiful and wearable. They looked a little bit scary, but they work really well. The grays work really well as well. I think they're, for a grey eyeshadow, they're very wearable greys, same as this sort of grey lip colour. It's a very wearable grey lip colour, and I think all the colours work well together. You get a lot of product. It doesn't tell you how much product you get in it, but probably based on my estimate, you might be getting 1.5 to 2 grams of eyeshadow in each pan. It looks like these are probably 4 to 5, maybe more each. You get a lot of product here. So for the price of $29.95, you do get a lot of product. This is made in the USA, they're cruelty free, and this is made in Japan. So I really like this liner. I think it's probably, out of the whole palette, probably the thing that I'm most interested in reaching for a lot. I think the color is really beautiful. It's almost like a black, but it's like a slate black. It's a twist on a black. It kind of performs a similar way, but gives a slightly different effect. It's really smooth. It's got that kind of ball in there. I love Japanese liners. I think they work really, really well. The brush is very nice and precise, but it's also a brush and not a felt tip. So it applies the product really, really smoothly. And I know Japanese liners pretty much retail for around 20 bucks. So the value here is definitely decent if you like the colors. So like I said, if you like the colors in this sort of pack, definitely check it out. There is a code in the description box and a link. You can get 10% off and free shipping. But you can also sign up and skip boxes if you don't like the colors. So if you want to buy one every, say, 4 months and you want to skip a box because it's not really your cup of tea, you can do that. And I think that's a smart way to do it because not everyone will love all the shades that are released every second month. But if you're the type of person that just wants convenient makeup and something that can kind of challenge you a little bit, so something that's quite wearable but pushes you out of your comfort zone to try something like a grey halo eye, then it's an interesting subscription box to check out. So big congratulations to Nikkia for the box. It's a very nice box, and thank you for Deck of Scarlet for sending that over. It was fun playing with the products and yeah, seeing what I can create. Also, let me know what you think of the look I created. It's a little bit different for me, a little bit cooler than I usually go for, but I think it works. I think it's pretty. So thank you so much for watching. If you need any more information, description box below will have all the details, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.